changes our website and how we operate with our chat room and our services and stuff since this presentation was created. So we're not going to focus on that. They're simply for the logo. What Talkshoe is a... See, I'm used to going over and hitting the arrow button. I've got very slow web. What Talkshoe is a... Well, we call it social conference calling. So if any of you have been in a conference call before, you know what I'm talking about. There's 10, 15, 20 people on a phone together. Sometimes it's supposed to be 3 people, all trying to talk. Oh, please. And usually the moderator doesn't have a whole lot of control. Everybody's unmuted or everybody's muted, and that's about all you get. With what we've done is actually we started by giving the host more controls over the conference call. So you can mute and unmute people. You can see who's talking with our downloadable client, and so that you can pick up where static is coming from, where extra noise is coming from. And we've added a chat room. So rather than just being people on the phone, you can actually type in messages as well. And again, you can mute and unmute the chat and obviously see who's typing messages to you. The social side of it, we started by, our founder Dave Nelson said, you know, I want a way for anybody anywhere to be able to talk about anything. So his goal, and what's become our goal as a company, is that if I want to pick up my phone and say, I want to talk about, I don't know, crocheting, I can pick up the phone and talk to other people who are interested in talking about crocheting, or podcasting, or bowling. Like, absolutely anything is the plan. We're obviously not there yet. We're still a pretty new company. We've only been around a couple of years. But we're working towards that goal by introducing some of our social networking features. So within the site now, and here goes nothing, you can sign up. You can sign up to follow a show. You can, yes. So these people up here, once you sign up for Talkshoe, follow this show. And you can then see who follows, click on, I have no idea who I'm about to click on. So this is Hypno Joe. Oh yeah, I have no idea. That's the picture that they provided, and then this is going to be all the shows that they follow. So you can kind of get a feel for who people are based on the shows that they follow, and find them in chat rooms and communicate with them. Where we're going is actually, this is why I was hoping that it's a little better. When you create a show, there's a chat room, and it's all web-based. So there's no download required. There's absolutely nothing to install. It works across all 3 platforms. Guys, the office. There should have been a Talkshoe logo right there with the show in the office. And so once you're in the chat room, you can communicate with each other, mute and unmute. And the long-term goal is actually to allow you to embed that chat within your own website, so people never have to come to Talkshoe. We just want to be the platform at the end of the day. So we're looking at, there's a Facebook app on its way, likely within the next 30 to 60 days. And the beauty of that will be, you've already got a bunch of friends on Facebook, right? Everybody's on Facebook, everybody's communicating through Facebook. We want to be able to give you a way to, once you've got a group of friends on Facebook, say, hey, let's all talk about PodCamp. Because there's the PodCamp Toronto group, let's start a conference call about PodCamp. And there will be a chat room right there and there inside Facebook. And everybody can participate that way. All right. So the back-end system that we're using is actually all a big conference call bridge system, the same stuff that MCI in the US is using. Bell uses the same bridges to do their conference calls up here, so does TELUS out in the West End. So essentially, the way it works, you create a call, a show, a call. You sign up, say I want to create a new call. Anybody can call in through a number of methods. You can call in through Voice over IP, which is free. You can download Voice over IP software, connect to an IP address. A little more technical, not everybody's there when it comes to the technical side of that. You can call in through Skype using Skype Out. It's their I think it's $3 a month for Skype Pro, and you get unlimited calls within North America. Or I think it's something like 2 cents a minute, or cheaper than that maybe, for calls from Skype out. Or you can actually pick up your phone and call in. That's the easiest way. That's how most people we find are calling into shows to participate. The host has the ability to record the entire show, start to finish. And then we take care of the podcasting side too. So we generate the MP3 file, we generate an RSS file, and people can subscribe right from your show page on Talkshoe, or using the using the embeddable Flash badge, they can actually listen to your show from your own web page. And if they're on your web page and you've got a live show, that badge reflects that and says, hey, look, we're live right now. Come join us. Or they can click it and that'll pop open the chat and they can participate, again, without going through Talkshoe. They don't have to sign up. We don't require registration in order to participate. They can join as a guest. They don't have to sign up to call in. You can call in and join as a guest. And like I said, eventually we're hoping to eliminate the hurdles of having to go to all sorts of different websites by embedding the chat, by embedding the call features, by embedding all of that. Our downloadable client, if you wanted to go that way, it's not required anymore, has something built into it called ShoePhone. It's actually built-in voice-over IP technology. So you don't have to install a second application. You download the Talkshoe client, and there's a little box that says call in now. You plug in your headset and mic, and you're done. You click it, it dials you in, it signs you into the call, it identifies you to the system, and you can talk away. And all of the same features as if you called in on the phone apply to both you and the host. The other nice thing about the download is it does have that look who's talking, which actually identifies by bolding the name of whoever's calling you. So that's about all I had without a decent web connection. I was hoping to be able to show you how to start a show, how to create a call. Generally, it's very straightforward. If any of you want the demo, obviously not this weekend, we can do something kind of interactive from our respective houses later. Just get in touch with me, let me know. Questions? Absolutely no questions. I've explained everything perfectly, yeah.
All right. I've got ultra-low internet speed collection from routers.
Right.
And if I use ShoePhone, it lags so much. It's
right.
like I'm talking, it's like that. Is it ShoePhone or is it my connection?
It's a connection. We have people who use ShoePhone exclusively, and I can't tell that they're on ShoePhone until they tell me. I compare them to people who are on the regular phone, and of course if you're on the phone, we're eliminating the connection variable.
Doesn't that cost, like, if you have long distance, where does it go?
The call goes into a Pittsburgh number, so you are calling the U.S. When you call it. There's a service out there though called Jaja, JAJAH.com, and they do some free calls. I think they give you a certain number of minutes when you sign up. Essentially what they do is that it will call your number, and then it will call our number. You give it the two numbers that you want, and it'll bridge the call for you, and that's free. As long as you're either calling your home phone or you've got unlimited incoming. It'll use your cell phone minutes if you're using a cell phone, but it doesn't cost you anything, or whatever a regular incoming call would be. It would just be like your neighbor calling. You have one.
Yeah. Sorry, I got here a little late.
Yeah.
Do you have a show presently at Talkshoe?
Do I?
Yes.
The only one that I'm working on right now is I'm working with the third-party developers who are playing with our API to pull data out from Talkshoe, so I don't have a general one. Our CEO, Dave Nelson, has one on Thursdays that he calls Talkshoe Host Sharing Strategies, and that's Thursdays at 4 that he does live. The show ID, if you punch in at Talkshoe.com, this box up here in the corner, you can actually punch in any call IDs. So you can go home and punch 1517, and that's his show. And you can download, I think he's on episode 70-something now. And he comes on there every week and talks about the features and what's going on and how to promote shows and that kind of stuff.
And how does Talkshoe compare to, there's a website called Blog Talk Radio?
Mm-hmm. The big difference between the two of us is that Blog Talk is focusing a lot on radio programs. So they are looking at somebody who wants to sit down and host a show and take a couple of calls, have the chat going, but it's more, I'm broadcasting my message out. We focus more on the conference call side of it. So we want communities of people, groups of people to get together and talk with each other, rather than I'm the person broadcasting out to you. And PodCamp Toronto used this wonderfully because there were usually, 4 or 5 people on those calls talking in kind of a group environment rather than the one person broadcasting a message out or the 2 or 3 co-hosts broadcasting out. And that's kind of the big difference between the two of us is what we're looking to do and who we're targeting. A lot of the features at the end, there's a chat room on both, there's call-ins on both. So some of the features are very similar. But we are, like I said, we're building towards the idea of being able to pull in your Facebook friends, your friends on Ning, MySpace, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and kind of tie the social side of it into the call. Anything else? I know you two just got in. I'm sorry you missed the actual presentation. No other questions? Bonnie's got one.
Well, do you have a sense of how big, like how many people are using it?
Yeah, we have, I think we just passed our 30,000 unique show created.
Wow.
It's not active. I think there's probably close to 9,000 active shows going on at Talkshoe. An average of 20-ish shows a day happen on the site with 5 or 6 users in each. So we're looking at a couple hundred users a day using the site. Like actively using it, not just browsing, calling in, participating in the chat rooms, spending hours upon hours on the site. I don't have an exact number of users, but I remember passing the 50,000 mark. So we have a big community. The nice thing about the community on Talkshoe is they're very much tied into Talkshoe. A lot of our users are Talkshoe fans and not Talkshoe users, which is wonderful because if you start up a show on Talkshoe, you are going to get a crowd saying, that's a new show, I'm going to go try it. And you'll get that first initial audience. A lot of our users as well hang out on our Ning page in what we call the Talkshoe Community Center at talkshoe.ning.com. And they're participating with each other on Facebook. There's a few Talkshoe groups on Facebook. There's a page on Facebook. There's message boards all over the place. So our community is very focused on being a community within Talkshoe, and then they branch out to their own communities beyond that as well. So it's very dedicated.
Yeah, what I was going to say was, what I found was the hardest part was just figuring out how to call in, how to get in. And then actually once you've mastered that, like being able to call in somebody else's show, setting up to actually host is really easy.
Yeah.
It's super easy. You just say, what time do I want to start? Okay, this is the time. And
you're done.
And it's done. And then when you go to host it, you hit a start button. It's just so simple. It's worth trying out to call into a show because the next step to actually create one is really easy.
And if you don't mind paying the long distance, at least for your first call, I definitely recommend just grabbing a phone because it is by far the simplest way to call into Talkshoe. And I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure if this will be audible. I don't see an active.
So if you were the host of a show, would you call in on the phone too?
If you... Let's call that again. If you're the host, you also have to call in.
Yeah, but you use computer or are you doing the phone?
You can do either. Yeah. We don't, at our end, because we're using conference call technology, we don't care how you call in.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it all plugs into the same conference call box. We look at, you have to identify yourself when you call in by phone.
Yeah.
So you have a PIN number, and that's all we look at. And if you enter the PIN number, if you're on show 1234, and your PIN number for the host is 123456790, we match those up and identify you as the host, and you're set. You've got all your controls.
I've used WebEx a lot.
Yeah,
Sounds like the same.
very similar idea. Very similar.
So with the Shoe phone, are your calls free?
Shoe phone is free. You download our client. You get a different chat interface than the web-based one. There's a few extra features. You can color thread the chats. We're focusing now on our web-based because we don't want to have that download. It's a lot easier for somebody to just go to a website. But if you do want Shoe phone, you can just download it. You plug in your headset, and then it just goes over the web. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay. So the listeners can do the same thing as well?
Listeners, if they want to register and download, you have to register to download the software. You don't have to register to use the web-based chat. So that's another barrier that some people don't like to go over. But if you're a host and you want to dial in through ShoePhone, you're obviously going to have to register anyway. So listeners can definitely download the software and connect in through ShoePhone for free if they want to. Or we find some listeners as well will go out and find other voice over IP software like Gizmo Project and SJ Phone, and there's a lot of voice over IP platforms out there, and call in that way. And those are all free as well because they're just IP to IP over the web.
So, Talkshoe.
I keep forgetting. I dialed the Talkshoe number 4 times now, and I keep forgetting to hit speakerphone as soon as I'm just going to call into a show so that you guys can have a sense of how this works on the phone. I'm only bringing up the computer so I can see which shows are live. That's what you get when you call in. And I mentioned ID.
I've got a bid out there if I can help you.
Oh, thank you. So, ID number 5757. Perfect. Speaker.
Yes, zero.
Try to figure out where I got that.
Islamic information.
All right. Followed by 5757. Yeah.
Enter your PIN followed by the pound key. If you are not a Talkshoe member, press 1 then pound.
So you can call in as a guest by hitting 1 pound. I actually have an account. Go figure. So I'm going to, and that was not my right PIN number.
Your PIN was not recognized.
Yeah. I missed the number.
And the easiest thing that fixes your PIN is your phone number. That's the easiest thing to remember.
So when you first dial in, this is letting you know that the call is being recorded right now. Hey Carl, how's it going?
You are unmuted.
Not bad, Carl. How are you? I'm actually calling to demo Talkshoe to a room of about 20 people live at PodCamp Toronto. Say hello.
Hello.
So if you want to go ahead and mute me, I was just trying to show them how the phone system works. That was it. Tell you what, I'll drop by one of your shows this week, all right? No problem. Just go ahead and mute me, and we'll listen in for a while.
You are muted.
So he's got controls within the web chat, and don't tell him I muted that. He's got controls within the web chat so that he can, as you just heard, mute me if there's too much noise. So if I was to leave that and he left me unmuted and we started going on, he obviously hosting a call right now to whoever else is listening. I don't have his chat page or anything else, so I can't see how many people are there. But if he's got 5 or 6 people, our noise is obviously going to distract from what he's trying to do. So he can mute me. And the same thing happens, we've seen people, babies cry in the background, we have fire trucks go by when somebody's calling in from the road. So it's really easy to mute someone. And I just asked him to mute me because it was easier that way. And then when you're done, all you do is that. And it drops you off the call, it lets him know that I'm no longer on the call, and that's it. He's recording that. So when he's finished, about 10 minutes after that he's done, I can go in and grab the MP3, download it, and hear all of us saying hello to him on his podcast. And that's how easy that was.
Can you mute yourself?
Sorry?
Can you mute yourself?
As a host?
No, you're calling.
As a caller, yes. You can hit *6 and mute yourself. You can hit *6 again to unmute yourself. I do that all the time when I'm calling in from a grocery store or from wherever I happen to be. I'll walk into the grocery store *6. Or I'll stay on the phone until I get to the register. Hey, give me about 5 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. *6. Pay for my groceries. Head back inside. *6. Sorry, I'm back, and away we go. If the host mutes you, you don't have control to unmute yourself, which makes sense. But if the host doesn't mute you, yeah, you can mute and unmute yourself.
Are there any plans on doing video?
No. We were built as a company who wanted to focus on audio. for two reasons. One, audio consumption is a lot easier than video consumption. You can listen to audio mowing your lawn, riding a bike. A lot easier to listen to audio driving than it is watching video. So we're built from the ground up as an audio company. Also, it's a lot harder. Uvu's a great company who's doing the whole video thing. Ustream is doing web-based. So is Seismic. But we like the universal accessibility of the phone. You can call in anywhere and talk with anyone. So we like the fact that this is universal. And so we're probably going to stick to audio for a while. We're looking to partner with Ustream to allow for hosts to embed a video of themselves doing the show within kind of the web chat. And especially once we make our chat room and the tools like the mutes and the unmutes and the record embeddable, we're totally expecting hosts to embed our chat next to whatever else they're doing. So if they want their own Ustream plus another embed from, I don't know, MySpace, Flickr, YouTube, whatever, and our chat on their page, that's what we're shooting for. We want to allow them to build with us whatever they want and just kind of be the tools of the back end.
Do you know of anyone that does screen sharing for free? So,
the only one I know of that's really that I've used and played with is go to my
go to my PC.
Go to a meeting, go to my PC. That's the only one I've seen doing that kind of stuff, but obviously it's not free.
Actually, if you could do video, you could hack it.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. Anything else? Questions from Yeah.
I understand that Talkshoe pays as well.
Talkshoe does pay some of our hosts. We have a revenue sharing platform in place. All of the MP3s, within our terms of service, we say, listen, we might insert ads on the hosted MP3s because we do free hosting of all of the MP3s recorded on our site or uploaded to our site. And it's just pre-roll, post-roll ads. And if you want to apply for the Talkshoe program, or the Talkshoe Cash program, there's just a button, you click apply now, we take a look at it. And generally, unless you just started out and you've had, say, one episode with one download, we're going to hold off on the approval. If you've got a few downloads, if you've got a show that you seem to be committed to, then we'll approve it generally. Away you go.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody right now making money from the show?
Oh yeah, definitely. Checks going out at within the first week of every month. Anywhere we don't send a check below $5, we've got hosts making hundreds of dollars a month with Talkshoe.
Do you own the rights to the MP3?
No, we actually give you the rights through a Creative Commons license. When you create content with Talkshoe, you hold the ownership through Creative Commons, and within our terms of service, you explicitly license it to us, but not exclusively. So the content is yours and licensed Creative Commons lead, and we get the full non-exclusive license to host it, promote it, modify it. Same way Creative Commons, by attribution, share alike, whatever the third one is. But within that, we say we have full rights to do whatever we want with it, but it's not ours. We're not finished.
So if you stuck ads on it, if I wanted to download it, take the ads off and host it on the web,
It's still your content. You can do whatever you like. Anything else? Hi, Jay.
Hello.
No other questions? Excellent. So I've left my business cards at the front. There's pens at the front. There's one less pen at the front.
I never turned out free pen.
If anybody has any questions, my email address and my phone number are on my business cards. Feel free to email or call anytime. And I have shirts. I have a pair of shirts to give away. And we're going to start with a question, which is, I think I mentioned this. Which state is the Talkshoe phone number based in? The back.
Pennsylvania.
I was actually pointing to the hand that went flying at the far back.
I wasn't here to actually do that. I don't want a shirt.
How many people did I say were on the you don't qualify, I don't think you qualify? How many people did I say were on average on the PodCamp Toronto call? There we go. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to hunt me down. I'm easy to spot. Look for the ridiculously bright shirt, or give me an email, and that's it. Thanks for coming out.